Hi, this is IK. Welcome to the users list and add the user form. I give myself assignment to do add user form and users list. Even though I understand React Redux, concretely I understand add post form and post list. I didn't remember. I know architecture, but I didn't remember totally secure, totally correct syntax. Because of that, in beginning, I must see similarity. I must see what I can copy, what I can reuse, and change that copy. And after that, my knowledge would be better. And a lot of times like that, I will know syntax excellent. And here, my assignment is add user form and the users list. I look at add post form and post list. And like that, I write this element, add user form and users list. It is same level add user form and users list. It is brother or sisters. And here it is all on app.js. I spoke about links. And I know that add user form will need only dispatch, here concretely. Only dispatch, use dispatch, hook, and user list will use only use selector. And okay, let's go. In add user form, I create add user form that I copy add post form and remove what I don't need and change what I need. Here and also for users list. Add users form, there is, as a name descriptive said, is a form for adding users. And users list is only list of user. And let's go at first to see add user form. Here it is, add user form. Add user form, even I know architecture. As you, if you pass all recently video, but I copy add post form, and after changing, I have this add user form. Import use state, I need it because I will have only one input. Here it is, only one input box. And I need use state for mutate by immutable kind state of that input HTML element. Import use dispatch from React Redux. We need that hook because form must add a new user, must add to state in Redux. And it goes by method dispatch. Method dispatch give action to a reducer in Redux. And after reducer, we have in Redux, in reducer, there is two input. Reducer, there is two input. One is original state, last state, and it means, for example, in our case now, look at here, it is 3 users. It is initial. Refresh. It is initial users, 3 users, and it is original state. But now, after add, after click on button, for example, I write here in the input box, write new user, save post. In a moment, when I get out from that input box, get out, it is moment on change. It is blur. Here, this is focus, click in, click out, it is blur, it is change out. In that moment, we have set state that Bill Billy new user. And this Bill Billy, what we will look at now, it is a set state. We can say thank you to set state. And when I now click in Save Post, I activate Dispatch and Action Creator Add User. User add. Okay, let's get. And after that, User Selector User Selector mutate users. What it means? It means that in reducer take copy of original state. Original state is these three users. It is take copy and push new Billy new user, push in that new state. It is like in number when we speak about plus. Now is option method push. JavaScript, there is a method push. Array, there is a method push. And look at here, save, method push. Here it is, user selector. Here, save post button, we activate use dispatch, and we see in list Bill Billy, thank to use selector. Let's go to script. Use dispatch and user added, we must create that in user slice. It is coming from user slice. And now it is first part, architecture of form, architecture of component, because we have slice and component. Slice is Redux, a component is visible part. Component is that what we see on the screen. Plus script what we need for that. What we see on the screen is return part of this object. Okay, after import we have export declaration of AdduserForm equal function, arrow function, and in the body of that arrow function we have all that until here. Body of arrow function, there is a first part where we declare object, what we need for return, for visible part, for return. Let's go. User state, as always, we declare the structure assignment. The structure assignment. It means that we have two variables, username and set user's name, equal use state function without parameter. Username is value of input HTML element, username. It is value of input element. Concretely, it beginning with nothing. Value is nothing. And after we typing name, activate, okay, get by order. And here we have a declaration of the structure assignment. And after that we have two variables, user name and set user name. We have two name, descriptive name for to our variables, username and set username. We declare dispatch equal use dispatch without parameter. And constant, we declare constant on user changed equal event. What it will be event? It is out of input. When I get out with cursor, get out from input element, it is event on user change. And in the body is expression set username. It is a second variable. I call that variable until I don't see here that is function. It is function. And in parameter of that function is e.target.value. It is value, concretely Billy. It is value what I type in input box. And event is when I get out from input box. When I get out from input box, that moment would be activate arrow function, would be activate object on user changed, and it is equal arrow function parameter event e, and in the expression in the body of arrow function set username parameter is target value. In that moment, use state and his component, function set username, we can say thank you for memorize that value what we type, and we have value what we type in input box, and we can click on the save button. When we click on save button, it is declaration of object what will be activate in that moment. On save user clicked equal arrow function there is no parameter, and in the body of arrow function we have a dispatch parameter of function dispatch is user added. We will see later in a moment what it is. It is action creator, and parameter only one username. And after that we set username to nothing. Set username to nothing. Look at set username to value, set username to nothing. And that set username is is for mutate. It is component of use state hook. What we need for mutate state of input element by immutable kind. And this is only logical Boolean. If a username exists, can save. It means that we must type something in input box. We cannot, nothing would be activate or that we click on the button if input state is nothing, if we nothing write in input state. And the return. Return is a visible part of a function, visible part of arrow function. We are inside body of arrow function, and part return. In parentheses, we have a mix of HTML and JavaScript, and that mix we call JSX language. Heading 2, add new user, form, label, username, and input. Input is interesting for us. Type text, ID username, name is add username, value is username, on change. Here it is event, on change, event, JavaScript event. And that on change for input box means get out from input box. On change, get out from input box. Writing and get out. Get in input box is focus. Get out is blur. And get out means on change. That on change, that event call object on user changed. Object on user changed. And that object on user change equal arrow function where parameter is event. What event? Event on change. That event. On change. That event. In the body we have a set username. Event target value. What value? Value about target. What is target? Input. Input is target. Because on change is attribute of input. All these are attribute of what? Of input. And input is HTML element self-closed. You look at self-closed. And all argument is here. One of them is on change. On user change. And after that, on change, username is Bill Gates. Bill Billy. What I write that. And after that, I can click. I have a possibility to click on save post. It is used for, you look at save post, because I copy add post form, and here is save post, and save user. Okay, it is button. When I click on save user, here again this argument is JavaScript event on click. As here is on change, this is event, JavaScript event on click. On click call object on save user clicked. And this argument disabled equal can save and exclamation mark in front of can save means ne postoji can save. And in that moment it is disabled. But when we write a new user in input and get out, in that moment we have can save we can save. In that moment we can save, because this not can save is 0, and disable when equals 0, it is not, disable must be 1, logical 1. Save user button. It is about add user form. Add user form. Again, copy add post form and change what we need for add user form. Also, users list. Users list, we need only user selector from React Redux package. And after that, import architecture. We know architecture coming export. And that export, we declare object user list. User list equal arrow function, and in the body of that arrow function is all what we see, what we need for to see on the screen and to feature for working on the screen. Feature what execute our working on the screen. There is nothing for working on the screen. It is only users list, and we will see users list, and nothing for click, nothing, no button, no link, etc. And for that we declare users. Here is a use selector hook function. Parameter is state. It is a state from Redux. And in body, it is parameter. In body we have state.users. It is all users. It means 4 momentarily. We have 4 users, 3 initially, and 1 I add just a moment ago. And the declaration of object rendered user I need, because users, here it is, users is array, and that array we always use map method of array. Here it is map, and map in parameter there is a arrow function, callback function, and that we write, because here is users plural, there is a members, and singular use for it is because of description. Name of our parameter must be descriptive, and the parameter user, and in the body we have a mix of HTML element, and we need article. It means that every user will be inside article. Only his, and because of that we need key, because article will be list. List of article, inside article is username. We will have 4 article because we have 4 username, and because of that we key list. Every list must have key. For orientation, JavaScript. what delete, what add, order, etc. And for key we use user.id because ID is a unique identification of user. And here is heading 3 in curly brackets user.username. Return now, because here is there is a mix of HTML and JavaScript. We in return need only in curly brackets rendered users. It means sometimes we can use a mix of HTML and JavaScript in every location of this architecture. It is not only return section that we use JavaScript X. No, here is example. Here in that rendered users, we have mix, we have JavaScript extension or XML, and here is only rendered users. It is users list, and we must intervene, we must add something in users slice. Next series of video I spoke in detail about user slice by order from counter until this topic and other topics. User slice before was writing until now. It was before, when we don't have add user form. Now when we have add user form, we need action creator. We need this part. And again, I copy this part from post slice and change for what I need for users slice. I need for users slice only users added. It is like before, curly brackets, reducer state action. It is all same. State push. You look at push. It means that what I write in input box will be push to state. I have 3 users in state, and after writing in input box new name of user and save user, after that I have activate push. It will be push, activate dispatch and activate action creator, and that action creator say to reducer push action payload. Action payload is Billy and push this state. But look at this is mutate. This is state push state, but it is possible to write this mutate kind because in slice in Redux toolkit there is a library imer, and that library imer will understand what I want with this constatation, this statement, and will convert that my statement in immutable mutate. What means that imer library will copy state. It is concretely will be 3 original state, will be 3 initial users, and to that copy plus that copy push. That copy is also array, copy array, and that array there is a method push copy dot push action payload. And that new state will have 4 users, but original state is we don't touch original state. It is immutable kind of mutate state. And Redux toolkit is something excellent. Something excellent. All that in version before that of Redux, all that we must by hand work. Create copy and a lot of job. Here is not a lot of job. It is, we now coded action creator. And every reducer always have 2 input, state and action. But in some serial video, maybe I will talk more about JavaScript 6. And a lot of beginners and people ask, how begin programming? How begin web development? How begin that world of programming? And many responses is answers on that is very different. Some of that is JavaScript, learn JavaScript before, or learn HTML, CSS, and some said learn program language C, because all coming from that language C. Somebody said learn, but very rare, object programming. But a lot of said beginning from C. And I think about that, and I am in dilemma. Yeah, maybe it's good for somebody that learn that language, but it means that learn how computer work, and it is connected. It is part of computer, hardware of computer, and how we program that hardware. It is interesting. Maybe start from that. But JavaScript 6 and the web development with the front-end React, popular React front-end library, it is totally different from all before. And maybe for beginner, after they go in HTML, CSS, and go to JavaScript, and go to concretely working actual example with the descriptions of JavaScript 6 during that example. Like in my method is this. I call this for a totally beginner, and I think that somebody as a totally beginner can try to go with my video, and I try to have a live example, and I have excursion and description of JavaScript 6. What is that big difference? The big difference that is there is a we spoke about object and object equal function and arrow function, and that result of arrow function is again object we call React element, and that React element there is properties like every object, but it is totally different from all others before language. Now is the same Angular and Vue. I don't speak about languages based on JavaScript 6, but starting from C is excellent. Understand programming, understand computers. But when you go, when you coming in React and Redux, and it will be totally new kind of, and because of that is big mix in our head, and very hard to learn and remember that code, that script, because look at it is million different parentheses, curly brackets. Look at how many curly brackets, and you must control it. You must understand architecture. You must understand the scripting language. You must understand that object arrow function, object equal arrow function. I will speak, I talk about that in some series, what is very confused for people who know. Until now I know all programming language. My first programming language was when I was in faculty. My faculty was 1969 until 1974, and we learn electrotechnic faculty, and we learn assembler, language assembly, and Fortran. It was Fortran in that time, and we learn logical elements, bool, algebra. But from that moment, I a lot of years I programming in PHP. But and also I programming in JavaScript, JavaScript 6, but in Java also. In programming in C++, but reducer, I don't know. It helped me, absolutely helped me, because I understand variable and function and object. I understand that all that need and properties and method. I understand that all that need place in memory, that all is connected with the speed of processing, and it helped me. But I need some time. But I look at from first lesson of React, how many times, maybe 2 years. But I learn. In this kind of video, what I create for this my YouTube channel is my learning, and I like write and process of my learning, and you will see how I learning. What I say, it is all what I thinking about programming, thinking, find what error, etc. And read original documents, read a lot of blogs, look at in many example on GitHub, from GitHub repository, and it is a long time. Now, as sometimes I don't learn 10 hours a day. Because of that, I have maybe 2 years learning React. Okay, but every of you know how like to learn. Go in example and listen and go around Google search for all what don't understand, or get start from elements, programming elements, HTML element, CSS, programming language, JavaScript 5 version. Every of us know how to learn. There is no universe formula for all. And because of that, of course, this kind of video is only for somebody who like, and who is it, I don't know. I see who subscribe or don't see. But who like my video and this kind of learning will subscribe here and will share for others who also can like this kind of video. User slice, and we create user edit, but I say you, it is copy, I copy, add, post slice. Here it is post slice. Initial state, and you see post slice. Okay, post, and we stop here for users slice. But after that, I copy all that. And instead what I have here, I know, and it is knowledge. I know what I need for user slice, and I need it. Add the user form again, add the post slice. Look at action creator, reducer. There is a 2 input, state and action in curly brackets. And what will happen? It is action what said what will be happen. Will be push, method push, this new name, action payload is new name, will be pushed to original state, copy of original state. But here we write directly original, and IMER library with the program that to immutable kind of mutate. After that, prepare, I have prepare, and nothing else, nothing of that. Let's go, nothing, we don't need a reaction added, we don't need post update, it's all. And of course, copy this and this action here. And let's go now in users slice. Here it is. We have only one action creator. Reducer is the same. always state and action, and state push here payload. Prepare must be prepared. ID is a function nanoid, what coming with the Redux toolkit also, and that function produce a random string, and possibility that that random string would be same is very small, and here is a username. Payload, there is only input and there is a username, but ID, we must have ID. It is a unique identification, and we need it for other action in our application. And we close all that parentheses. Look at how many. And export object in curly brackets user edit, it is action creator, equal user slice action. All that script, never mind with C or PHP writing, or it is because of that it is very smash. It is very difficult to learn for a beginner. Because of that I speak about architecture. Architecture, we at first look at architecture, and after that go in syntax and understand what happened here. But here is all it is all object, it is all function. Object, there is a method and properties. All that story is here. But what is here new? It is syntax. Syntax is new. For example, I can write, I can look at now. I delete all that. It is map. I can, for better, enter here, and it is a map, method map of users, or of that, all that is users, array of users, and map is array, is a method of array users, and here it is all simple. And now, instead rendered users, I have users. And all is okay. For beginner, it is very confused when see that syntax. It is very confused. But I hope that my explanation in that example and a lot of other examples will enter totally beginners in that world of programming, web development, concretely React. It's all for now in this video. Next video would be assignment 2. It is add user form. Add user form, and if you didn't create yourself, you will see how I create it. Help you that I copy add a post form, add a post form, I copy add post form, and I copy add post form, and I'd look at in what I need. Maybe I need in post slice, add comment form, what I need in add comment form, completely copy paste and change add comment form. And I have mistake. I make mistake 1 curly brackets, and 3 days I working on that error. But about that in my next video. If you like this my video, you can subscribe, you can like. If you have some question or adding, if you have some for add to my discussion of learning, you're welcome to comment. All that is, all your engagement, all kind of your engagement is very, very useful for all us what coming here to this my video. Thank you for watching this video.